This is Too Long for a Voice Note, a podcast about everything and nothing at the same time, presented by Claire
and Enzo. Our podcast is produced in London. Some conversations are just too long for a voice note.
Hi, he's Enzo.
And she's Claire.
And this is Too Long for a Voice Note.
Hi guys, welcome.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of our beautiful
Voice Note
podcast.
Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for joining us this week. On the top of everything, we want to say thank you for subscribing to our channel. We are 100 finally.
100 subscribers on our YouTube channel, so thank you to everybody that is subscribed on YouTube.
Awesome. It seems like a really small number, but for us, this is sounds so cliche and but for us it's so important, guys. No, but it's true. It feels like, we're working on this every single week and we do it with our love and passion. So it's nice to see like you guys supporting us, liking our videos, sharing with people you like, and subscribing. That's really how we get our thing back. We get something back. So we're happy for that.
Thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate it.
So remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the button here. Or here.
Subscribe,
or here, whatever it is.
and like and share,
and
all please do comment because it keeps us up on that algorithm.
So it's so cool. We're back this week, Claire. How's been your week?
It's been good.
What's new? What's new? Tell me.
What is new? I had my vaccine in my little arm this morning. Good. I took my little plaster off.
How amazing it is that Claire, she got just her vaccine and she's already walking. She's working for the podcast.
Get it going.
When I get my vaccine, I will be like, I'm off. I'm literally off. I need to rest.
And taking a 2-week leave of absence.
I need like a green juice. I need it's a lot. No, how awesome it is. I'm proud of you that you are like...
Yeah, I just thought get it open, done with. One of my best friends.
Are you feeling good?
Absolutely fine. Good. It's a bit sore, to be honest, but the lady told me she said to us, take some paracetamol now. Okay. I was a bit scared. It was very bizarre. Like, I mean, everyone was so professional, but it is a bit strange. You're like, wow, this is serious. Because obviously...
You showed me a picture and it's like in a tent kind of thing. So it's very like... like serious shit kind of like... It was
serious. I was like, where's the snack? There was no snack. I was expecting...
Where's the wine?
Will we be having the wine later or which... No, it was just like everyone was just sat there. It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, super professional, got it done. The lady who did the vaccine was very nice.
I think the NHS is doing like a great job with the vaccination.
They really, really are. Yeah. They are really... rolling it out quickly.
That's really good. Yeah. So it's good that you got a very good first one.
Dose, hopefully I'm
gonna get mine.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm so young, guys. So young. Yes. I haven't got an invitation yet.
He'll be probably August.
Because I'm on the 20s.
Look at the face. This is such a little baby. But yeah, it's good to get it going.
Yeah, I mean, we need to this is the solution we have for now to
of course,
move forward. So it's amazing you got your vaccine, love.
How was your week, love?
It was a okay week. I don't want to complain about it too much because it's gonna be the same as last week. It's like we're almost in June and it's gray and rainy and cold. I don't want to complain about it again. So it's been an okay week. I think it's a bit down because of it. I think it's been too long. Too long for a winter.
Too long
for this cold.
Really,
so it's a bit like
if to any of our listeners or people that are watching who are not based in London, like really the weather is. It's just atrocious.
I think since I moved here, probably this is the worst waiting time ever. Like it's been incredible.
There's been like storms.
Like crazy shit. So that always.
You're such a Brit now. Look, at you talking about the weather because Brits always talk about the weather. And
I get it now. You talk about the weather because everything it's around that. Yeah. I mean, like it's cold for 8 months in a row, so it's a bit like. At least it was fun anyway. But yeah, the week is a bit down, grey, rain, but it's been okay. It's been a bit flat.
Yeah.
Even though I've been doing a few things, but nothing like too spectacular to tell you. Spectacular.
Well, there was something we wanted to talk about because we get a lot of questions about this.
About like...
We get a lot of questions about our vagina poster.
Our vaginas.
Why do we have a vagina poster?
Can you tell us more?
Do you want to tell the story?
You tell the story.
Okay,
you tell the story.
You do it. You're like, tell the story.
Tell the story now. Please.
Well, when me and Enzo were becoming friends, we met in August 2019.
Probably, yeah. Like, nobody cares, but yes, we're going to get the story.
Yeah. Sorry, I have to be like, these are the dates. And then we were becoming friends. And I think, actually, this is one topic that I think will be interesting to talk about, is making friends as an adult. Because...
That's a good topic for future
save
episode.
It for another week, but we were becoming friends. I remember we had a friendship date. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
It was in like
we went to Camden.
It was in like December or something, because it was before your birthday.
It was just before my birthday, around early December or late November.
And of course, it was raining, and like, of course, but we went to Camden. And we went to the Vagina Museum, which is this really cool, like, I would say like a pop-up kind of museum.
I don't know if it's still there.
I don't know, but yeah. Museum.
I know there's so many vaginas out there in Camden still.
I know. I wonder. And it's super cute, and it's like all the different, like, everything to do with vaginas. It's like super feminine.
And like, it's very health oriented as well, right?
Yeah. And how to take care of your vagina, blah, blah, blah. And like, there's like different sculptures of vaginas. It's great. It's great. It's a good time.
And they had this amazing poster.
And so I bought it.
So it's kind of funny. Like,
exactly.
It's kind of like the background of the podcast as for now. And it was the thing, like, kind of start a friendship in a way. Like a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Like,
so we thought it would be like a fun thing to put in the background. But we will be changing the set soon, probably.
Hopefully, yeah. But yeah, if you're wondering what is this, they're vaginas. They are exactly what you think they are. That's correct. And we like it. It looks kind of cool, right?
I think it looks really cool.
Also, it's very artsy, and the colors. Definitely. I think the colors always fit everything. I don't know. I think it's very like very like young London.
It's
feminist. I mean, we talk a lot about feminist oriented topics, so I guess it's fitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why we have that.
That's the story of the vaginas. It's on my wall, and that's that. And so now you know.
Now you know.
I remember on that friendship day. Did you have this as well? It's like, you know, because you know when you're friends as an adult, it's like you're dating, you know, and it's like
That's so true. It's like a date.
I remember saying to my best friend, "Oh, I really like Enzo. I hope he likes me."
It's like a date.
It's
true.
So weird.
You have the tension of a date
because you're not locked in you are with your old friends. So it's like, but thank God we got through the initial first.
For somehow vaginas did help us. And then we have amazing pizza at Purezza. If you live in London, if you're a vegan or not, you need to go to Purezza. Amazing. It's like an amazing vegan restaurant, cool Italian. Brand. It's really good
and
pizzas.
And they do delivery now. They've got a restaurant in Brixton now.
Like Purezza, you want us to sponsor us? Imagine us like eating a pizza from Purezza every single week.
Oh, I could
Think
eat
about
that
Purezza.
right
Think
now,
about us.
Honestly. Such a
anyway,
so that's that. That being said, I think it's time for Claire's secret topic of the week. I'm gonna go first this week.
Okay.
And I wanted
Hit me with a topic. Do it now. I'm ready. Is it like intense topic this week?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
I don't know what Enzo's giving me like side eye. Like, I think it's because he doesn't know what I'm going to bring up.
Actually, I have no idea what it's about. So,
don't you?
No idea.
Don't you?
Do we talk about something about
we
it?
We have spoken about this. But I wanted to talk about this new. It's not really new, but I want to talk about cottagecore.
Yeah, we had a conversation. I remember that.
It's a very interesting thing. So for you, those of you that don't know what cottagecore is, it's essentially an aesthetic. So for our YouTube watchers, I'm going to put some images on the screen now, but for our audio listeners, the aesthetic is very kind of rural, romantic, countryside, old English, kind of like cottages,
kind of like
floral prints,
kind of imagine like
it's like very like
natural.
Yes, very, and that kind of thing. So that's kind of the aesthetic of it.
It's maybe what you think about England back in the day, you know, when
completely like Pride and Prejudice kind of
exactly
novel.
Like Jane Austen like is based on this
completely.
Type of aesthetic probably.
Yes.
Jane Austen movie book. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's kind of the aesthetic of it, but there's also a whole kind of lifestyle that accompanies this. So it's very much about kind of crafting and living off of the land and foraging and baking. And so maybe not surprisingly, cottagecore really took off in 2020. because we were all forced into our homes. Like, you know, we all had this phase of the lockdown of baking. Like the banana bread was the thing. Like baking
banana
bread.
Who didn't?
Exactly. Who didn't bake a banana bread? I certainly did. I actually want to start making banana bread again because I love it with some peanut butter on there, like some.
It's easy.
I can eat that right now.
Okay, so it's like I think it's about like a celebration of like more back to bases, back to the roots
Completely.
Type of life.
It's a celebration of like slow living,
and
all of these different things. Obviously, there's a way that you can do cottagecore, but it's become super popular with the younger generation, and it's super popular on TikTok. So a lot of people say it's kind of ironic because, as you might imagine, like part of cottagecore is being off the grid and not being attached to technology, and yet you're using technology to share this aesthetic. But it's something that kind of connects people. So I guess I wanted to kind of ask Enzo if this is something that he would be interested in. What do you think about it? Is this something that maybe appeals to you? There you go. That's my topic.
It's kind of like I feel it's very like a dream type of life.
Yes.
You feel. I think because we're so disconnected from that, living in a big city and living like in a city like London. It's like city. So I guess it's a bit like a distant thing. It seems like not real for us. But do you think it's possible to have like this type of lifestyle aesthetic living in a city? Do you think it's possible to maybe put it together? Your life?
I don't know.
Adapted somehow?
It's a really good question because from what I've seen of, big YouTube accounts that kind of celebrate the cottagecore lifestyle, they do seem to be they live in like rural areas.
So it has to be like...
Yeah. But I'm sure there is a way to kind of bring it in. I think there is part of me, it kind of does appeal in a way. I don't think in reality...
characteristics.
Yeah, like...
I don't think... Do you think like they, for example... One question, do you think it's something related to veganism maybe? Are they vegan or not at all?
No.
It's not related to this type of like healthiness as well? Not really?
Really, but it is really linked to sustainability.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a rejection of the fast-paced modern style of living, which is obviously very like disposable and like use it once and chuck it away and then next and that kind of thing. It's like a rejection of that. So yeah, it's interesting that you picked up on that. Not necessarily veganism, I think, but also, again, maybe into health, they're very into like baking from scratch and knowing exactly what goes into your food. So not like fast food.
Because if you have a farm, you will like grow your own stuff and use that to like
completely. And that's it. Like,
so interesting.
Eating like what you've grown from the land, foraging, as I've said. Like one girl was, she was making like dandelion cookies.
Wow.
So getting that. I was like, it's so cute, but yes, I think it's an interesting ideology, and also they've made a link. Like this isn't actually the first time that this sort of thing has happened. I thought this was super interesting. That the kind of hippie movement back in like the 60s and 70s was actually a rejection of like the big kind of economic boom and that kind of, you know, work until you're dead, like that kind of thing. It's so not about that. It's about like enjoying the moment, being present, being slow, appreciating what you have, kind of thing.
Do you think it's very like it's a privilege to have a life like that? Do you think if you are aiming for a life like that, it's something like I'm going like there, like is it a privilege from white people to have this type of life? I don't want to make it like heavy, but no. I was just thinking like
it's a good point.
Because like I guess. When you have like, I don't know, like a 10 hours a day kind of job and you live in far from everything, like it's difficult to maybe have like something like that. I don't know.
Completely. I think that, it is a privilege. And I think, like a privilege to be able to have the time to do that, obviously. And if you're trying to like, say if you're a single mom and you're trying to like feed your family, you might not have time to make a dandelion cookie, for example.
To pick up your own apples. But it's kind of like interesting because I think if you're living in the countryside, that you will be like easier. It will be easier for you to have this type of life because that's what you have. Most likely, right?
Yeah, if you, I think so.
It's an interesting
One thing that people have criticised cottagecore of doing is of being very white and very straight as well. But with the rise of TikTok, they've actually found that specifically randomly like lesbian women have been able to find a space there and kind of explore this kind of thing, and also people of color as well. And that because a big it's getting a lot more inclusive, and I think that's kind of like the beauty of social media in a way, because definitely, especially in America, I was watching a video where this girl, she's black, she was saying that, you know, obviously there are connotations with that kind of older time with slavery in America. Makes so this sense. Is her way of like reclaiming kind of like how
change the narrative of completely. Something. Yeah.
So she's doing her own spin on cottagecore.
That's quite interesting.
I think it's an interesting thing, and I think that maybe this is something that the pandemic might have taught us, and I think a lot of us probably have enjoyed, myself included, and you as well, like that slower pace of life. Definitely. I don't think I will go, and we won't go full cottagecore.
You don't think you'll be like wearing like a linen flower dress and like picking up your apples in the morning?
I think I'm just so highly impatient. I would just be like, I don't care about, I don't care.
I get it's like
I wish I could be more like that. I really wish I could be, and I obviously love cooking and baking and all of that kind of stuff. But not in
that type of setting. I guess
I love the idea of it.
I think the beauty of this new lifestyles or trends or things that are coming back. I think it's like, because it's difficult if you live in a city or if you live in London or wherever you live to go fully on it. Yeah. But I think it's good to maybe pick things from this that you can adapt to your, let's say, real life. And say, for example, like, okay, maybe you can go and pick up your own apples in the farm because it's nothing close to you, but you can adapt things like slowing down, cooking more, baking more, maybe, and all the things like being more present. So, like, maybe try to disconnect from technology and be more present on things, spend more time outdoors, I guess.
It's funny as
ways to, like, kind of like
bring it into kind of one life,
because and I think, that's the key, I guess.
One thing I really do like doing is an activity, like I have a balcony and I find it so relaxing to like tend to the flowers.
What does you mean with tend with the flowers?
Tend to the flowers.
What's tend?
Oh, it's like look after the flowers, like preen them, water them.
Oh, so the whole activity is called tend.
Yeah, tend.
The more you know.
Learning with Clarita.
Learning with Clarita some new English words.
But I find it so relaxing, like just like trimming off like the dead thing. I don't know, I'm just trying to say that. I like gardening a bit, basically.
But to be honest, not everybody likes gardening. You know, it's interesting because I really like it. I mean, I discovered recently since I have like a garden now. Yeah. Like I really like gardening. And you know, like when you talk about this with some people, they're very like, oh, you know, it's not common like everybody likes to spend time with the trimming stuff and like you've removed the soil, planting some seeds. It's not like the most common thing. And I think it's very like old school. Like
yes, I think
my grandfather, he used to love it, but it's very like older people, they used to like it. So it's kind of cool that which makes sense is related to this trend. Completely. Because it's like going back to what we used to do back in the day.
But that's the thing, isn't it? And I think what is interesting about cottagecore is that it's so highly cozy and like nostalgic and comforting, and it makes perfect sense to me that in this horrific time where the world was so uncertain and like you don't know if your loved ones are going to make it, like that you would turn to like baking and like something making and like doing art and gardening. It's so pure and I think it's actually really lovely.
Yeah, really connected with the like nature, with our nature to like create, you know, because they're like cooking, all these things are very like close to us. It's like because we do with our hands, we use our brain, your mind, so it's very like, and something that we lose a lot nowadays because sometimes in normal life, let's say we take away, so somebody's cooking for you, you don't take care of the plants, you don't bake at home, so you don't have time to make any art, for example, if it's like that. So I think it's going back to that, to like connect with creation in some way, which I find interesting.
So what would you like to take from, like, if you were going to bring in anything from like the cottagecore aesthetic and like, you know, what would you?
I think I'm thinking maybe I would like to bake more. It would be cool because I used to do it for a bit, but the thing is, like, I mean, I tried to bake some stuff though.
You make like a good vegan cheesecake.
I did. Quite proud of it because it was like a whole thing. It was like a lot to learn from vegan cheesecake because you know. I think the being present thing, especially now that we're going back to real life and like fast speed, it's a bit being present and try to find moments to stay calm, grounded, and all of that. I would like to spend more time in nature. I think I would like to go for more hikes and like make the effort, because it's not that difficult. Especially like if you live in London, you have too many trains to everywhere. Yeah, in an hour you can go to like some side outside London that will be like a great hike or something. And it's something that I never pay a lot of attention, but something now I'm thinking like you can do something if you want twice a month. Go for a hike or take a train and go somewhere else and like be in connection with nature. So I think that will...
It's so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I think you can't ultimately sort of like outrun your nature and outrun our nature. Like as much as we try, like you just do. That's why they say like with mental health, like one of the best things you can do is to be in nature because it's...
We're organic.
Organic.
We're organic.
Well, yeah. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give Enzo 60 seconds. To tell us what he's taken away from this conversation about cottagecore. I just want to be like cottagecore and
with that voice.
Right, tell us what you've learned about cottagecore. Go.
I found a really interesting thing, and I found funny, I don't know if the word is funny, but I found interesting how like things like Pinterest or different parts of social media has helped this kind of trends to like form or go back to like the surface again. It's funny how internet in a way allow us to put some ideas together and create like something new like this in the middle of things. I don't know, I find it interesting. I think it's very like a Pinterest.
True.
Because it's very visual as well. So you kind of like put together this idea and you try to imagine a life. I think it helps kind of to like visualize like a life in a different way when you put all of this together and you're like, oh, I would like to have something like this. And maybe it's difficult, but maybe you can add things to your life, like okay, maybe it's a lot of nature here, so let me add nature in my house or where I live. Let me try to add this type of thing. So I think it's very interesting, and I don't know if I will have that type of aesthetic of life, because I think I like cities and fast stuff, but I think it's cool.
You're done, I'm afraid. You're done.
You go, girl, and you use your like flower dresses. No, actually, maybe I could try this for a week or something.
Yeah.
What if I like it?
I would love to do that kind of like off the grid. For a week situation.
I think I would like to have like a cottage house kind of thing and do it. You know, going for like once a month.
That would be amazing, just to like completely like decompress, recharge.
That would be awesome. So you can go there and spend like 2 days and have this dream thing,
amazing,
and then go back to your normal crazy life.
How much more balanced would you feel if you had that?
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be really crazy. I think if we can do it now, because we don't have, for example, the money to buy a second house, or like a first one, but like a second, I mean, it's like, wow, okay. But at least if you go for holidays, maybe some of your holidays, you can focus to find something around this, something like it's not so connected, but try to disconnect.
Completely true.
Maybe you can try to have like this experience and try to see how it works.
You know, I heard that there are these places where you can go and just be off the grid. They don't allow technology, but you get to hang out with baby goats. I was like, where is this place? Where do I go? Where do
I go? I would like to do it. And maybe goats and like cows as well. Cows seem very nice. You love
cows.
Cows are pretty and they seem to be very friendly.
So cute. I want to go see the baby goat.
Like,
do you know what I am scared of though?
What?
Pigs.
They can be a bit aggressiv, right?
Do you know they'll eat you alive?
Oh, fuck my life.
They eat you alive. I heard this story about this woman who clearly why we live in London. I heard this story about this woman who raised these pigs.
Okay.
That was her mum.
Okay.
So they had a bond, clearly a fake bond.
Yeah.
She got stuck in the mud on the farm. Mm-hmm. The pigs ate her alive. Ate her down to the bone, and so they didn't find her. They ate her.
This is the most scary story I've heard about like this type of things.
How savage is that?
That's crazy. That's fucking big.
They all ate her. So they're not loyal.
They're not loyal.
They will turn on you.
Oh my god.
That's why I'm scared of pigs.
I don't think
don't get stuck in the mud around a pig, people. Okay.
I don't think like a cow would do that ever, because
they're vegetarian. Anyway, they're vegetarian.
Yeah,
they're vegan. In fact,
they're vegan.
Cows.
Ironically, they're vegan.
I know.
The irony of it all.
I know. But there you go about pigs. So they look really cute, but they are.
I don't want to have this type of life.
But you know, they always say this is a bit dark. But they always say if you want to bury a body, you should throw them in with the pigs.
I think there's a movie about this.
I watched a Scandi drama recently, and they did that. They did. I don't want to say which.
The more you know.
But yeah, they hid the body by feeding it to the pigs.
Wow. Okay. brand new information.
You'll never look at pigs the same way.
Definitely no. Wow, okay.
I think I'll stay in South London, thanks.
I think I'm staying here. It's fine. I like the dirty tube. It's not that bad.
I think I would get COVID, but it's alright.
So, now it's time for Enzo's secret topic of the week. So, my topic this week, I want to my topic this week. This is my Italian side. The topic. Okay.
Thank God. Let's just say he does have Italian background. He's not being hideously racist.
I know being racist. I can do it. Okay. Actually, my grandfather used to be like that. And screaming all the time.
Like in a genuine way.
Like a genuine way. It was literally the cliche of Italian. My grandfather.
The Napoli.
I mean, he was from Naples, so.
My nonna was more reserved, but she was northern.
You got northern. No, my grandfather was like, no, like screaming and hands, and yeah, it wasn't. So I'm allowed, okay. Anyway, well, my topic. Yesterday night, I was on a family dinner, and my family asked me like, are you filming the podcast tomorrow? I was like, yes, of course. And they were like, oh, do you have a topic? I was like, I don't have a topic. They were like, let's do like brainstorm. And we started talking about different things. And there was one topic that I thought was very interesting suggestion. So I changed my topic from this week. Yeah. So my topic, it's serious. It's a serious topic. But before starting it, I want to say like, I want us to have a conversation about it. This is not like facts. Like it's not facts or something like super rigid. So if I say something wrong or something that it's not accurate, just please forgive us and let us know in the comments if you want to like say something, because it's a topic that I think I'm learning and probably you're learning as well. I think we are all learning about this. So if something comes out way that you don't think is the right one, please.
I have a feeling I know what it is, but
let us know.
Don't keep me hanging.
Maybe,
but yeah.
Maybe you're like, but yeah.
But yeah.
So anyway, I want to see at the top of all of it, so So we started talking about this cover from Elle magazine, which was very like revolutionary and very like breaking boundaries. It was with Olly Eley. They are a non-binary model.
Okay.
I don't know, have you seen the cover?
No, I haven't.
They are like covering the chest, tattoos, very like striking images. I mean, the cover is really cool. The cover is an interesting topic because the first time to like Elle magazine, which is a very like female magazine, display a non-binary person on the cover and give the platform to talk about how it feels to be a non-binary person, how it's the struggles, how like. I read the interview and I think it was a really cool interview because it explains a lot. So if you have the chance, we're gonna leave the link here.
Yeah,
so you may understand better what it means to be a non-binary person, which basically is when you don't identify with your gender, even if you're a male or a female, you don't identify with any of them. So you are non-binary, which is also like Demi Lovato came as a non-binary this week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Sam Smith is also like a famous person is non-binary. So the interesting part of this was talking about, because the topic came up because we're talking about like, it's interesting how humans that we feel the necessity to put people or what we see into labels and categories, right? Everything comes from because Andres, he said like he saw the cover on the newsstands, and the newsstands is such an American word, right? The newsstands. Maybe it was in Sainsbury's, I don't know. And immediately he was thinking like, is this person a man or a woman? So that was his first thought. And when I saw the magazine, when I didn't know anything about it, I thought about the same. Like, also because it's Elle magazine, it's a female magazine. Yes. So it's like, is it a woman? Is it a man? So the conversation was around this, like how interesting it is, like, and why like we have this necessity of to put something into a category straight away, and how this is maybe shifting or changing with time. So I feel at the end is how we are, because it's a perception, because I can feel whatever feel that way I feel, but then somebody will have a different perception, but I shouldn't care about it, which normally like if you feel like a woman and you feel like a woman, who cares if the person think like look as what a man is, kind of thing, Yes. This goes to the point of, if I consider myself a man and I'm wearing like a dress, I'm still a man. But somebody will be like, why he's wearing like a woman's clothes? Yeah. So we were having all this conversation about like tag labels and what does it really mean to like all this gender identity, like what really makes us different and why we have so many issues with like I said, like if you feel like you're a woman, you're born as a woman, you identify with that, but you like to wear masculine clothes, why I will have a problem with it and I need to put it in a box like, oh, but she's a woman, why he's wearing like men's clothes, and why we always go to that. And I don't know, I wanted to talk about it because I think it was a very like it's very like a new age topic, and I'm glad that we are talking about this more and more and more because as they say in the interview, it's now like you have the opportunity to explain more and to put your feelings and how you feel into something. Like it took it took a lot of time to identify as what it was, because it's like I feel like a woman, so I like a woman, so I'm a lesbian. But then it was like, oh no, but I'm not also a lesbian because I don't like, it's kind of like this.
I think
whole thing.
It's a very interesting thing, and I think that this is something that, again, like the new generation, although we both have like trans friends and also friends who are not trans who are like gender fluid as well. Is another way of kind of describing it. So it's something that I've always been aware of, and like a family situation as well. I think that it's a really refreshing thing. I think that a lot of people will sadly have a really hard time with it because I think as humans we just love to categorize things. We really struggle when we can't put things or people in boxes, or when people don't do what you expect them to do. Like, for example, we spoke one week about motherhood and how that's probably an expectation for me, and people would freak out if you choose not to be a mother if you're a woman. So I think this kind of falls into the same kind of category as well. And I don't know what it is in our brains that kind of, I think it's just very sort of like an old school thing. Like that's the way that society was set up. Of course, like we should say, like at the top, I'm sure everybody knows this, like gender is a made up thing, right? Like sex is not made up. Sex is male or female, but gender is a completely constructed thing. So it's really up to you to kind of interpret that however you want to interpret that.
And it's very personal. I find interesting how like we need to react in some certain way and to say like, no, that's not okay or that's not right because it doesn't fit what you think.
And that's completely someone else's own problem, I would say, because it's like, it's really not bothering you. The guy that we speak about a lot, he's cis. Cis means, like you are
the gender was assigned
exactly
to you
at birth, you connect to that. So Enzo and I are both cis.
Yeah.
But he is cis heterosexual man, and he is like, like a big guy. He's probably like in his 50s or something, like a shaved bald head. But he wears stilettos because he likes it, and he's really taken the internet by storm. And and I think maybe some people will find themselves being uncomfortable with that. I have to say, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm so cool and like new age. I don't find it. I'm not uncomfortable with it at all. You find it really
refreshing, actually.
I think it's really refreshing, and I think it's really cool and really. Just because maybe as a woman, so many things about gender and being a woman, we speak about this nearly every week on the podcast, so kind of binding and so boring. And I think when I see somebody kind of taking gender and like flipping it on their head, I find it so, I don't really, I'm trying to think of a better word, but like brave. And that hit him. I'll try and find his name and insert a picture. He just so like, whatever, I'm doing me. I like to wear high heels. Why not? It's
such a, at the end of the day, it makes, when you think a lot about it, I think sometimes, I don't know why we are afraid to it, but I think it's because of religion and tradition, all of that. We are afraid to go to these places sometimes. Of course, it's changing. The new generation probably they won't have any issue, because I was telling that to my cousin, like probably her son, because he has like 1 year old, probably he will not have this issue. He will just get it like straight away. Like, I don't think the new generation will have as many things like, oh, what is this or what is that or why doesn't know? It will be like, it is what it is. Like, it could be an easy as to ask to the person, how do you identify with? If you need to know, or if you want to like be respectful, but not like, I think the problem is when we don't accept and we want to like be like, why? It's like, why in the sense of like, it's wrong. Why you have to feel different?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I would just ask somebody who says why or it's wrong. It's just like, why do you have a problem with it?
Exactly.
What is it in yourself that's making you feel uncomfortable with somebody expressing their own identity? And I think the pronoun they is very interesting because, you know, it's sort of, I completely can understand that of not feeling like you identify with being male or female. And, you know, it kind of, one thing I think it kind of links to kind of, I know it's not really the same thing, but it's pansexual, right?
Pansexual.
That's the kind of feeling where you're not attracted to the gender.
It's more about the person.
But like Dan Levy's character in Schitt's Creek.
He's pansexual.
Yeah, so you're not attracted to the gender, you're just attracted to the person. And I think that maybe that kind of reminds me of being a they, or like taking elements of things that you like from a gender which isn't even a real thing anyway, and then kind of making it about you as a person, and we're all so unique anyway.
That's interesting.
And I actually think, I don't know about you, but I think there's probably I would, if I thought about it longer, I would think there's so many things that I do that maybe I'm not crazy about just because it's a thing that women do.
Okay.
And women, I mean, there's nothing that I like really suffer through, because I think I will probably be like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like maybe for some women it might be like shaving their legs. They really hate doing it, but they just do it because
you're pressured to do it.
It's strange for a woman to have hairy legs. Do you know what I mean? And do you have anything?
That's so right. Like, I think like it's, well, for example, like clothing, it's like a thing, you know, like we are think like men should be in a way and women should be in a way. So when, you know, if you're something super extravagant, people will like criticize or make comments on it, like why it's so extravagant, why this is so weird, why it's so feminine. And this is part of these little things, like it's part of like it's just like we need to remember that this is all things that we create. Like it's not like we came on the earth with a book which somebody tell us you need to be like this.
Some people think that though.
Some people think that, but this is all man created. Like
somebody wrote that book.
Somebody wrote the book. It's like it's, you know, we all together during time we're creating all these ideas that nothing is real kind of thing, you know what I mean? Nothing is something really. Like it's not a tree is real because I was like a proper, you know what I mean, like us being human, we're a real thing because we come, you know, like I don't know, like life, I know it's going too deep maybe, but the rest is all things that we are adding and we are creating because we think. So I find so weird like when we kind of like fighting with somebody because they feel different from our point of view, what is right. I think it's good. I think we're moving into a right direction of let people do whatever they want to do because they're not affecting you in any way, they're not hurting you in any way. And I found this case of awesome because they are explaining like how it took time to find where to locate themselves because before they were a she, and for a long time she was struggling at the time like where I fit until found the middle point, which is like a gray area kind of thing. Not a gray area in a bad way, but they say like gray in the sense I'm in the middle. I'm at a point in the middle and it's fine. And I'm feel here, I'm okay. And it's a lot about like I can wear whatever I want to wear and I'm fine. Because they say like I didn't want to remove my breast, for example, because for me it's not about that. But I can wear masculine clothes if I want. Okay. And something really interesting is like it doesn't matter what I want to wear. It shouldn't like be a problem. Like you know, like if I feel I'm a man, but I like to wear female clothes, that's not a problem. And they explain that like I don't like dresses too much, but if I choose to like be more feminine today, that doesn't should be like, oh, why they're wearing a dress to that now. If
so
they
now
feel
you're
like
female.
Now you're female, and it's that little thing. So I think it's really interesting. I think hopefully we're changing to more like.
I think so too.
People need to do whatever they feel. It's good. It's so bad that we stop people with our judgment to feel what they are fully because we have opinions on others, you know, because it affects, you know, a lot of people like bullies or people talk about others or like the appearance of others. You are like part of the problem because you are stopping them to feel fully who they are and be fully happy. So that's why we need to stop them.
And this is why it's important, and it's great that Elle have chosen to, you know, kind of
Especially
make
Elle.
this kind of like feature this, because it's it's really, really important that you do have, like, we all know, like, representation really, really matters with people of color, LGBT people, and in this case as well, there are a lot of individuals that will identify as they or gender fluid, so it's really good that
especially Elle. Elle, I think, is a very like a straight female,
very like mainstream.
Fashion,
I would say
mainstream.
even Vogue is more like alternative.
Maybe
kind of
Elle,
thing.
I feel very like superstars, and very like beauty kind of thing.
Completely.
So I think this is very like it's displaying a lot. And I think, as you say, like this move, it means so much for so many people, and it's important always to remember the fact that it doesn't affect you or you don't feel connected to it doesn't mean it doesn't should exist or you shouldn't care.
Frankly, it's like your problem. If you have a problem with LGBT people, trans people, gender fluid, non-binary people, it's your problem. You need to go to therapy. I think the vaccine is making me demon. I'm gonna go to therapy.
Fuck you, go to therapy, because it's not affecting
you.
I
don't really like that, because it makes people, number one, like, a lot of trans people are really unsafe, so it's actually a really, really serious thing. For sure. If you have a problem, it's your problem. So,
literally,
don't put your shit on other people. Basically, I think this is a natural kind of like add-on to gender roles changing.
It is. It's natural.
Not all women have to have children. Not all people need to get married. Like, it's okay to be gay. Like, all of this kind of thing. So I think this is a good thing about having this space for people to explore themselves, and
we need to be open to learn.
Like, pick that suits me, get rid of that, I don't want that maybe on this day. I think it's just so cool and refreshing, and like 2021 people,
literally,
like,
as we're human, we have the freedom to feel as good as we can feel, as good as we can. So that's really important.
Everyone should be free to be whoever they want to be.
As long as you're as free as you want as possible, that's the goal always. Definitely. So Claire, I mean, we basically have like a conclusion out of this, but you got extra 60 seconds on the spot to say everything, whatever you feel or you
sound like
think.
Some like Venezuelan like host or something like
Miss Venezuela, Miss Universe, like, you are on the spot, Claire. Tell us. It's very, that's on my blood, I guess. So add a bit of drama, like a drama sparkle. So you have 60 seconds to say whatever you want to say about this topic, the cover, what we're changing, what we're doing, and how the world is doing on this. So you go.
Well, I think it's great that Elle have, made this move, and it's very refreshing to see, like I said. I think that, of course, everyone should be completely free to express themselves however they damn well choose. And if you have a problem with it, it's your problem. And I also think something I didn't say, but I think it kind of relates back to Cottagecore as well, that this is where social media can be great. I know there can be a lot of kind of like trolls and bullying, but I think that the internet could be a hopefully like a safe space for people to explore themselves or connect with people who, for example, if you're living in like a small town and you don't, in London, obviously there's, everyone and anyone here, but it's a good way to kind of find a community in that kind of way.
Yeah.
What else? I just hope that, as kind of time goes on, we can kind of find, people are just kinder to each other and let people do whatever they want to do, and just,
we should all be happy.
And maybe we should,
maybe you should know nothing, Claire. We don't care about your opinion anymore. It's over.
I'm curious for us to think about, like, if there are things that we do because of our chosen gender,
for sure,
that we just do mindlessly, that we don't actually.
I'm pretty
love.
Sure of that. I'm super, super sure of that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can reflect more on that and then come back and tell you guys. That could be an interesting thing.
Definitely.
Like reflect on what things we do automatically without, like, not as a choice, but more as because it's there for us.
I do think about that with makeup, for example. Because, during the week when I'm just working at home, like, I don't actually wear makeup, but I do have to say that I do love makeup and I find it creative.
It's creative. That's a good reason for it.
Yes. Yeah. And I love, like, exploring, like, new beauty
colors
products and
so
kind of thing.
That would be like a reason.
So I do think that is kind of myself. But, I know that might be something for people as well, and maybe,
Yeah.
Probably those.
Interesting. Well, guys, that's been this week. I hope you like our episode.
Lovely, interesting, refreshing topics, love.
Right? It's very interesting, refreshing topics. I hope you like it as well, guys.
Yes.
And remember all the things. Remember to subscribe, follow us on Instagram.
Like
be connected to us, because we're always doing like polls and things and asking for like what topics you want us to talk about. So if we do something around Instagram, please vote. And remember to leave us a comment and connect with us.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Guys.